Hi, friends. Happy Sunday. I'm going to do my angel message for y'all, see what the angels have to say. My angels, whatever. Okay, let's see. Um, hmm. They're showing me the balance between fearful thoughts and like fearful imaginings about the future and how feeding those fears creates them in our external reality. So, really focusing in on your heart. This is again not to be in denial about anything that's happening in the world, but to be mindful of of what you focus on and how powerful your energy and your attention is. They're saying, yes, I should tell you this example this week for some reason. Maybe it was the full moon. I don't know. I started freaking out about being out there online and like thinking worried thoughts about it. And I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna get criticized. This is crazy. And I had this like real fear. It wasn't even just thoughts. I was like anxious about it. And within like 24 hours, I had like two negative comments, but it like started, I think, from my own energy. And I called that into my experience. Um, and they're like, yeah, the whole world really is a dream. We are creating it with our thoughts, our energy, our attention. And we can create a more elevated reality by being just aware and mindful about how we create our lives. We can't always change everything that's happening in the collective, obviously, but we can align with a more elevated timeline by paying attention to the more positive aspects of life and calling those into our physical reality through our energy and our awareness and our actions. They're saying like humans are much more powerful than we've been told or taught, and we can shift the course of history. We can shift um, the way things are unfolding in the physical world, not by burying our heads under a blanket or pillow, but by aligning with the outcomes we'd like to most see, starting with our own lives. This starts with our own lives. But a lot of people doing this separately or even together creates like a real powerful energy and change. Uh, but they're saying really just start with your own life and learn the power of your thoughts and your energy and your attention, your intention, your awareness. Um, they are saying you can just experiment with it by like calling in different things you'd like to see or experience, even in small things, and then watching them manifest in your physical reality. They've said this before, but it is happening more and more quickly. So you can think of anything random that you'd like to experience. It can be small and then watch it show up because it's just like learning how powerful your thoughts and your energy are and how quickly that will show up around you. And you can do this for small things and you can do this for more elevated things. Like, I'd like to experience peace today. I'd like to see peace in our world today. And you'll be like, whoa, like the world is so peaceful. Um, they're saying a lot of people doing this at once would create world peace. People have to all choose that though. And angels, God, the divine, they're not going to force that on anyone. And that we're still acting out like old stories about who we are as humans. And they just go back to really ancient cultural patterns. And we can't shift them through our thoughts alone. But you can make a difference by showing up as peace in your life and in your community. If you feel called to write or speak about this, you'll get a lot of support from heaven, source. They're showing me like some of us are meant to be teachers, some of us are meant to be thinkers, writers, some of us are meant to be parents. And we all have different like blueprints energetically, and like kind of where your energy is drawn towards is where you should be. But we can shift that. If you're doing something you don't like, you can definitely shift that, and you should try to be in alignment with what your heart is calling you to do. And they're telling people to not be afraid of spiritual experiences. You don't even have to call them spiritual experiences, more of like awakening, where you realize that you're a soul having a physical experience, you're a soul in a body, in the world, but not of it. That's true for everyone. So when you start to realize that, just try to let it be an experience in your life without pushing back against it or being afraid of it. I was pretty freaked out when my experience started. So I really feel hypocritical saying that, but that's what I'm hearing. They're just saying the fear just kind of creates more problems. And like, if you feel yourself becoming more aware of yourself as a spirit or as a soul, roll with it and know you're totally supported. It can be overwhelming to like deconstruct your mental reality, but it's really made of nothing. They're showing me it's just like a poof. It's like poofing, like I don't know, it's like dissipating. And they're saying you're much more than your physical body and your physical reality. You're like a beautiful divine being with a very powerful soul. And not to go into an ego space about it, but to be really balanced about your beingness within the physical. And you can really explore that through connecting with your heart and living out like your heart's truth, your heart's center in your life. That doesn't mean you need to go set up a sign and be like, I am an amazing prophet, or like, I am the God, like I am source. Because we are beautiful souls. It just means to like embody that love in everything you do. And they're showing me like a lot of y'all watching are doing that anyway. Um, and just to let yourself really feel that. If you feel your physical world shifting and changing rapidly, breathe with it and flow with it. They're showing me like a river and just going down calmly, down like a fast river, and not trying to hold on to the sides or hold on to like any branches or rocks. Just like peacefully letting it flow and letting yourself be carried in the changes. The changes have a purpose. And they're helping us grow, and they're going to kind of be more we're going to be able to understand them more later. If you have questions, they say this a lot. If you have questions, take it to your team. What I'm doing right now is not an ability for a few. It's an ability that we all have to be still and feel guidance. That still small voice, that inner wisdom, that inner knowing. Um, and they're saying if it feels like love, you know it's coming from the right place. So as much as you can, try not to be scared of like or afraid of connecting up to or inwardly to your guidance. It's here for all of us. They're saying it'll make my life a lot easier when everyone learns how to do this. I really do love doing sessions for people. It's like a huge part of my joy and like my soul's journey, but we're all going to be doing this hopefully, or we all have the ability to do this. And it's not just for a few special people. It's interesting. They're saying like the sooner we learn this, the sooner we won't be deceived. Because there are people out there saying they know more, or they're tuned in and we're not, or whatever. But it's like really knowing the inner truth, love's truth in your heart. And we'll be able to, like, as you sense that for yourself, you're able to look out at the world more and see what's wrong or what's true more, because you're going to be so balanced and aligned with source energy that like when people are deceiving you, you'll be much more able to tell. They're saying they don't know, like people that are deceiving or lying, they don't really know, and they're not trying to, they're just living like a more smaller existence, usually for like money or greed. Um, and to just kind of like be like, okay, like you're on that path. Like that's still where you are as a soul. That's, I don't need to engage with that. And just to see that they're still kind of learning different lessons. You don't need to learn them if you've already learned them in it previously. I don't know. Um, and again, they're just saying like, do your practices, do your meditation, your prayer, like build your spiritual muscles. Yeah, they've showed me this a lot in sessions, but like a lot of people have like atrophied spiritual muscles because we haven't been taught how to grow them or use them. And you can fix that, just like we can work out or whatever, learn to play the piano. You can do this too. And it's a different kind of sensing, but it's just as easily developed. I guess I'll plug my class. Like, I teach a fair amount about this stuff, but Betty Guadagno and I are doing a class when I'm in New York on June 7th about how to connect with your spirit squad. A lot of it is just learning how it feels a little different than like your thoughts. And we're going to be having a fun time at that. So I'll put the link to sign up in the description. These workshops are like pretty affordable and fun. Um, but if you have ways you like to connect, of course, I love to hear other people's like methods or whatever. You're welcome to share that in the comments or message me. Um, I'm about to be off my day job. Thursday's the last day of the school year, so then I will promise I have like emails to respond to. And the problem with email is that there's like so many random junk emails that like the good ones get lost. I try to star them and I just need to respond as soon as I see them, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'll write back to that. And then I don't. And anyway, if I owe you an email, I love you and I didn't forget. But once I have a little more time starting this weekend and next week, I will be hopefully responding to more of you guys. I love y'all a lot. Let's see if there's any closing messages. They're just the final closing message, which is a common one, is go do this for yourself. This is a natural ability. It's not just meant to be for a select few. We all have this spiritual connection. So have fun with that. I'm here to answer any questions, but I'm sure you guys might be better at this than me. I barely believe in this. I'm just kidding. Only because of my experience have I accepted that this is a real thing. So, okay, I love y'all so much. Have a good weekend. Have a good day. I will see you next, all the times, all the different videos. And yeah, come to the workshop June 7th. Bye.